here right off of H Road in Arthurdale, and this is where Colonel John Fairfax and his family were buried. So they had lived in Preston County and in Mon County before it was Preston, and they were buried up here, and the thinking was that their first home, before they built their beautiful stone house up in Kingwood, might have actually been just down the road here. It might have been what we consider that enslaved cabin that fell down in the 40s. So that might have been why they were buried here in Arthurdale. So John Fairfax was buried here in 1843, and his wives, Mary, the first wife, and Anne, the second wife, were buried here as well. Over here in the far west corner is Mary Fairfax, and that was John Fairfax's first wife. They were married for several years, had a few children, and then Mary passed away. And right after that, John Fairfax realized that Anne, who he had loved all of his life, and was still living nearby, so he actually went back to her house, and she was widowed herself, and decided to marry her, and she accepted. So they were married for a long, long time, and then that's why they're buried together here as they are. Along the sides are a lot of enslaved folks who worked here under John Fairfax. Obviously, he owned them up here. So they were the ones working this land, cultivating crops, cutting down trees and making it livable, way before Richard Arthur and all that. So in 2017, there was a project with the AmeriCorps members through Preservation Alliance of West Virginia and through Appalachian Forest National Heritage Area to restore some of this cemetery. And that's something we take very seriously here at Arthurdale, even though it doesn't really fit into our scope of the New Deal. So one of the graves that was most affected was Anne's grave right here, or her headstone rather. And it was pieced back together in 3 different pieces using a mortar that worked well with those stones that are, historic, so that it wouldn't affect them negatively, as well as cleaning a lot of these stones and sort of discovering who's buried under them. So yeah, the AmeriCorps members were up here helping to restore, clean, and document all of these graves. So that's it for where John Fairfax is buried, and we hope you'll join us on the next Fairfax Friday.